welcome you to this science lesson. So it has been a pleasure having you, and I hope you are going to contribute towards the lesson. And the recording of this meeting will also be posted to you for you to be able to go through it and see what you can do. Kindly note that if you are using a phone and you are being called, tell the people who are calling you not to call you, because once you have left the meeting, you might not come back. You might not be allowed to come back. So ensure that you are stick to the meeting. Those who are using the laptop is okay. I think you will be there. So I want just to go through our paper today, because you can see this week we want to revise, because we never know next week we are doing exam. So I want just to go through a paper that some of you did. I don't know. Olivia, did you do the paper? Olivia, did you do this paper?
This one.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I
Melissa?
didn't see it.
Melissa, you did, eh? Melissa, I think Melissa did. Melissa?
Yes.
Did you do the paper that we had to revise, eh?
Yes.
Okay. And Melanie, I think Melanie also did. So we want to go through these papers, and I advise you to be doing these exam papers in the evening. Always they start at 7 p.m. All of them. Yesterday we did mathematics. Today we are doing English and all those kind of things. But I will be posting for you those exams in your WhatsApp so that you'll be able to do them. Are we okay? Are we okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I want us to start, and you can see the paper is a signal paper. We want to revise that signal paper, and it's the one that we want to revise this morning, and more or less what we are going this evening. But what we are going to do here is just we are going to see how are we supposed to answer questions. So our main objective now that we have finished the syllabus, what is it? Can you mute those people who have not muted? Can you mute those who have not muted unless you are going to answer a question? So the main objective of the lesson today, and I want you to write it, is that how to answer questions. I took you through the different type of questions that we have and how to answer them. But now we want to be this week we want to have papers and then see how to answer those questions when we have them now. When we have a question in a paper, how do we answer it? That's the main objective of this lesson. And to start us off is number one. We just want to go through all of them. If you don't finish, you're going to finish on Friday. So number one to be picked by Grace Wangeshi. You have been missing. So can you pick question number one?
Okay. So the diagram below is a human tooth. First, you label the human tooth.
Yes.
So we have the root, the gum,
then
and
the crown. This is the crown.
The crown. Thank you.
Yeah.
After labeling the diagram, you analyze the choices.
So you cannot analyze the choices before you read the question.
Yes.
Okay.
That comes normally.
So read the question now. Yes.
The tooth above is likely to be used for.
Okay.
Grinding and crushing is premolar and molars.
Yes.
Biting and crushing.
By cutting.
And cutting. Cutting is incisor.
Okay.
Holding and grinding.
Holding and grinding. Grace, somebody to help Grace. Holding is which one and grinding is which one? Which tooth is used for holding? Okay. You are not getting Grace. Grace, we are not getting you. Okay, she has left. So Christian, continue from there. Christian, continue from there.
Yes, cha.
Uh-huh. We are here holding and grinding.
It's
Holding is
that
which one is used
holding.
for holding? That is canine, and grinding is used for by premolars and molars.
Cha, holding
Then
is the same thing as gripping.
yeah, because they will only use the canines to hold. Yes. Then grasping and biting.
Incisors.
Yeah, incisors is used for grasping.
No, cha, biting.
Biting is incisors, and grasping is which one? Which one will you use to grasp?
Small.
That molar. Molar is
Canine.
chewing, grinding, and crushing. I think grasping will still be canines. Is that correct?
Cha, what is grasping?
Grasping is just the same as maybe gripping. Yani you unaenda unashika. Yes. So that's what we call grasping. So now what you need to know about a question like question number 1, because most all the times it will be uses. Question number 1 can be to identify the tooth. So it can be characteristic, identification of the tooth, and also the uses. So when we are talking about tooth, the topic teeth, it has 3 questions. You can be told to identify which type of tooth is that, or you can be told to identify the use of the tooth drawn, or you can be told to state the characteristics of the tooth that has been drawn. So those are the 3 questions that you have to know in teeth. Understood? Understood?
Yes.
Yes. So those are the 3 questions that you need to know. You need to know characteristics, you need to know uses, you need to know the identification. When you get the uses, you have to tell me choice A is for what? Like the Grace was telling us. Biting is for what? Cutting is for what? Holding is for what? Grinding is for what? Grasping is for what? And biting is for what? And then identify this tooth first. So which tooth is this one first, Christian?
Cha, it's an incisor.
So this is an incisor. So I come here after writing all the choices. I've written which one is used for which. Then I pick which one is used for incisors. Automatically the answer becomes choice what? Choice boy. True or false?
True.
True. So let's go to number 2. Michelle, number 2.
Which one of the following activities will least require friction? A. Swimming and flying. B. Racing and running. C. Breaking and lighting a matchbox. And D. Skating and walking. Cha for me, my answer is cha. Breaking and lighting a matchbox. Cha because you require cha friction, cha for flying, cha
For
swimming,
no,
cha and
Michelle,
race. Yes.
You are doing well, but what I want you to note is this. Yeah, I will give you a chance, Olivia, to answer a question. Now, but I want to tell Michelle something. Remember, you have written the objective of the lesson today. What did you write, Michelle?
How to answer questions.
Yes, that is the objective. So we are not even interested of getting the answer first, but we want to see if I get a science question in an exam, what is it that I need to do? So when you read a question like this one, Michelle, that which one of the following activities will least require friction, the first thing I need to know is what is the meaning of the word least? So the word least is that friction will be needed, but in a minimal way. In fact, sometimes we don't even need it. That is the main thing. So in other words, what are we being asked? Where do we not need friction? Then you come to swimming, you come to flying. Do you need friction to swim? Olivia?
Mm,
No, we don't need friction for swimming and flying. We need
What
a
reason?
streamlined body.
Because that's why when we are talking about characteristics of animals that flying or characteristics of animals that swimming, we are saying that they have streamlined body. The streamlined body is to prevent the air resistance, and that is a friction that we are talking about. So they don't have, we don't need friction in swimming and flying. Correct, Olivia? Continue now because you are the person who picked the question now. B.
Racing and running. We need friction in racing and also
Yes.
in running. So when we move step by step, we do not slide on the ground.
So we need friction. That's why when you have shoes that are the tires, then you need the we call the treads are over, you are likely to fall down than a person who has a new shoes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because of friction. And also for us to erase. That's why sometimes when you see the teachers are erasing on the board, there's some sound, meaning there's a place where there is no friction. There's no friction. So there's that slippery, that thing that sometimes some of you normally say in a ribu menuenu. See, some of you normally say that in class.
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, so that one we need friction in erasing. Olivia's choice.
Breaking and lighting a matchbox. We need it in braking. Because that's why most tires have treads on their wheels.
That's why most tires have treads on their wheels. For and matchbox, you see now. I know most of you have never seen a match. Michelle, have you seen a matchbox?
Great, yes.
Ninel, have you ever seen a matchbox? Ninel is here. Ninel, I know, has never gone to the kitchen. Tanya, have you ever gone to the kitchen and see a matchbox?
Yes.
Yes. So a matchbox, kuna kakitu hapo juu. That thing, and then where the box is, if you do like this, that friction is what is going to make the match to light. So that's where we need friction. So we need friction there. Michelle, understood?
Yes.
Okay. Skating, that is what you like most, Michelle. Is that correct?
Cha 50-50.
50-50, but you skate, eh? Now, when you are
Yes.
skating, there is something that normally make a break. We need friction, therefore, for us to break, eh? Are you okay? So, where we don't need friction totally, it is swimming and flying. Now, another thing that you need to know, once you have gotten the question friction, and I hope you wrote in question number 1, the likely questions that you're going to get. Did you write? Or you just listen? Please make sure you write. So now in question number 2, what are the likely questions that you are going to get in an exam? Number 1, this question is asking the list now. So number 1, you can be asked, where do we need friction? That's a question. Where do we need a friction? So we'll need friction now here in braking, lightening a matchbox, erasing, running, skating, and walking. Remember, where do we need a friction is the advantage of friction. Where friction is not needed is disadvantage of friction. So we can have disadvantage of friction. We can have advantages of friction. Then number 3, we can have ways of reducing friction. Then number 4, we can have ways of increasing friction. So let's start now. Let's write advantages. So kila mtu anaongea sasa. So an advantage, we start with Shanice.
Sure.
Tell us one advantage of friction. Faster.
It helps us in skating.
It helps us in skating, correct, Annabelle? Faster, Bwana. Let's move very fast. We are talking about advantages of friction. Braking.
It helps in writing on the board.
Writing on the board. Tanya.
It helps us in walking.
In walking, Christian.
Gripping.
Gripping. David.
Eating.
Eating. That one is new. How, how is friction help us in eating? That is new. Yeah, because we are chewing, because of chewing.
Yes.
David, because of chewing. Hey, that one is new. Ida? Ida?
It helps us in erasing.
Help us in erasing, James?
In washing clothes.
In washing clothes. Who is remaining, Michelle?
In running.
In running, Melissa Muyaki?
It enables a vehicle to move.
It enable vehicles to move. Nani amebaki hapa? We are 18. Have I called 18 people kweli? Okay. So let's go now to disadvantages very fast. Those who have not talked, can you talk? I'm not seeing everybody because I'm presenting. So those who have not talked, can you say ways, disadvantages of friction?
Wears out tire treads and sole treads.
Okay, Melissa Wamboi, wearing and tearing, correct? Another one, now, somebody who has not talked.
Causes blisters.
Okay, William, I was not seeing you. Causing blisters, correct? Another person who has not talked. Yeah. Everybody has talked now. Those who have talked, if you know anyone, you can. William?
Unwanted heat.
Okay, produce of unwanted heat. That's correct. Let's go now. Melissa?
Unwanted sound.
Unwanted sound. Unaona, if you are moving a chair in class, that is unwanted sound. We don't need it. So let's go now to ways of reducing friction. Ways of reducing friction.
Just smoothening surface.
Smoothening of the surface. Tanya was talking.
Lubricants.
Use of lubricants.
Use of lubricants. Nani? Annabelle, mute.
Ball bearings.
It's not Annabelle.
Oh, it was Sarah.
No,
it was Aida.
Oh, okay. So Sarah, you have not talked, by the way. Give us ways of reducing friction.
Using ball bearings.
Using of ball bearing. Ida was talking.
Try increasing the surface area.
Wait, how will you reduce friction by increasing the surface area?
I don't remember, but we were told by Bernadette.
That increasing, able somebody to explain that? I'm not seeing it, but maybe you have an idea. Christian, do you have an idea of when we increase the surface area?
Of what?
Of surface area of something.
Say that increasing of surface area is a way of increasing friction.
It's a way of increasing friction. I mean, I think increasing surface area is not a way of reducing friction, because if you increase, let's say you have a house inside the house, how increasing the house will increase friction, will reduce friction, either. So I think that one is not, but you can still do research. You know, science is all about research, Ida? Ida?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't think
using
so.
adhesives.
Using?
Adhesives.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Lastly, ways of increasing friction now. Ways of increasing friction. Melissa or
Roughening surfaces.
Christian, are you Melissa? Melissa?
Roughening the surface.
Roughening the surface. Olivia?
Use of threads.
Use of threads, Christian?
Seed roughening surfaces before Melissa.
Roughening the surface. Now, you guys, and somebody, Ida?
Increasing weight.
Increasing the weight of an object. That one is increasing friction.
Yes.
How? Let's take an example. I have a pen.
With a lorry.
Oh, with a lorry.
Yes.
How with a lorry now? The lorries are
when it's loaded, when it's full and heavy.
Oh, so it will be able to grip the ground very well.
Yes.
Okay. But it's okay. That is okay. But I don't think if increasing the weight will increase friction. It's only that it will enable the lorry. What about if we increase the weight of the lorry, Ida, and that lorry is the tires are not does not have treads. Christian, will that one work?
No.
Yeah, so I think either you need to check those two. You need increasing weight and increasing the load. Those ones are not ways of increasing friction. Ida understood? No, she left. And we were explaining for you, and you are not there. Aya. Now, Ida, Ida Mudoni. Oh, you have already been told, and I wanted Ida to explain to you, Melissa. The adhesives are these sticky substances like glue, all those kind of things. They are the sticky substances. Those are what we call adhesive substances. Understood, Melissa? Wambui?
Yes.
Okay. So, in question number 1, I've told you how many questions are going to come. Question number 2, I've told you the only questions that are going to come, they are only those 4. There is no any other. So I don't want cases where, and please, in reducing friction, people do not say streamlining, the one that we already said here in swimming and flying. So add that streamlining if you are writing notes. So those are the only 4 questions that come from question number 2. And I have never seen a paper in exam that does not have a question on friction, either 1 question or 2. And there are only those 4. So I don't want to see a case where my students are going to do a science contest and failing a question on friction. Tuko pamoja hapo? Are we clear? Okay. Let's continue. Let's continue to number what? Number 3. So number 3 speak by Melissa Wambui and Melissa Moyaki now. Melissa Moyaki. Moyaki?
Yes.
Pick that
The diagram below shows an object immersed completely in water.
Yes.
We have a glass, the object water, and displaced water. The amount of displaced water represents the. I'm not sure. I'm not sure there.
Please, we are not saying that you are sure, Melissa. Melissa Muyaki. Here, we are not interested whether you know the answer or not. Everything you are going to be told. So anything you don't know, you are going to be told. We just say what you know from the diagram. Then you'll be told whether it is right or whether it is wrong. Are you okay?
Yes.
Yes. So start saying, what do you know about the diagram? Karibu tu.
Ciao.
Aki. Can somebody help you?
Yes.
Okay. Who want to pick it?
Cha.
Olivia?
Cha for me. Cha first. Cha because cha when I look at the choices, cha they are characteristics of matter. Cha so you must know the definitions of each characteristic.
Very good girl. So if you don't know a question, Melissa, look at the choices. And then you see we have mass, volume, weight, and density. Therefore, I have to know what is mass, what is volume, what is weight, what is density. So start, Olivia.
Mass is the quantity of matter in a substance.
Mass is the quantity of matter in a substance measured using beam balance. The units for mass is kilogram, tons, and grams. Correct? Number 2. B.
Volume. It is the amount of space occupied by a substance.
The amount of space occupied by a substance is the volume, and therefore the the volume now becomes measured using what? Centimeters cube, meters cube, and also we are using measuring cylinder. We are using measuring cylinder for that. Weight.
Weight is the force of gravity acting on an object.
So weight is the force of gravity acting on an object. Weight is measured using what? Newtons, and we are using spring balance. Newton, spring balance. Weight is the gravitational force acting on an object. And I hope you are writing the things that you don't know. Density.
For me, density, I can say it's a degree in a substance. The degree.
No, density. So right, density is mass per 1 centimeters cube of a substance. In other words, it is mass of 1 centimeters cube of a substance. Mass of 1 centimeters cube of a substance. Mass of 1 centimeters cube of a substance. Measured using grams per centimeters cube or kilograms per meters cube. That's the density. Correct. So those are the definition of the characteristics of matter. Therefore, so we have seen here now, we have the object, we have the glass, we have the displaced water. So the question is, the displaced water represents the object's what? Now, it cannot represent the weight because weight must overcome the force of gravity. It cannot represent mass because mass is the quantity of a substance, quantity of matter in a substance. It can also not be density because density, we are going to use the volume and mass to calculate it. So automatically the answer becomes what?
Volume.
Volume. Melissa, understood?
Channel.
Okay, let me explain. You see, this is a stone. Let's say it's a stone, eh?
Yes.
If I want to know the mass of the stone, what am I supposed to do? Melissa, you want to know the mass of the stone. You have a stone. What you want to know its mass? What will you do?
So you're asking how I measure it?
Yes. What will you do to know the mass of the stone?
So
you'll put it in on a beam balance.
Yes.
Then you see how many kilograms does it weigh, or how many grams does it weigh, or how many grams tons. Is that correct?
Yes.
If you want to measure the weight of a stone, what will you do?
You
use what? Christian, I want to know the weight of a stone.
That thing. I still don't know the name. I forgot.
See, weight is a force. Is that correct? Which is measured using spring balance.
Huh?
Which is measured using spring balance.
Yeah.
So I will just pick a spring balance, go and hold the nini with it, the stone with it, and then measure the weight of the stone. And I will say it is how many newtons? True or false?
True.
Then the density, this one now we have not calculated, we don't do this one in primary, but if you want to know the density of a substance, you can write the formula because you are going to use it in Form 1. You are near going to Form 1 in, you know, you are going to Form 1 in May. So write the formula so that when you come to senior school, you find me there. You'll find me teaching density. Then you'll tell me the formula for calculating the density is mass of the substance over the volume. Mass over volume. That is density. So, Melissa, Moyaki.
Yes.
The only thing that I cannot calculate normally for a stone is the volume of a stone. Because volume, we have said, is the space occupied by a substance. And I have to know it is measured in centimeters cube or meters cube. But now, if I have a stone in my hand, I cannot tell whether how many centimeters is it, how many centimeters cube is it, or how many meters cube it is. So what I will do is I will take that stone, put it in a water, then that stone is going to displace some water. So the water that is displacing is what we refer to as the volume of the stone. And this one in Form 1, when we come to Form 1 in this, we are going to, the topic will be calculating the volume of a regular object, a regular, which you cannot say length times width times height. Like a stone, you cannot say length times width times height. That one we can't say because the length, it is a regular shape. So we don't know which one. It's not a circle, it's not a rectangle, it's not a square, it's not a whatever that we can calculate its volume. Are we together now, Melissa?
Yes.
So you can do this experiment today at home today?
Yes.
By just putting water in a jug, those jugs that have measurements, then put some water, then now dip the stone inside the water, you will see the level of water is going to rise in the jar. Then now you see if here where the water was 200 centimeters, but now here is 500 centimeters. So it will be 500 centimeters cube minus 200 centimeters cube will give me the volume of the stone. Tuko pamoja?
Yes.
Correct. Thank you very much. Sarah, pick number 4.
Which one of the following types of manure is likely to take the longest time to release nutrients to the soil? Green manure.
Green manure. You know, when did you join us late? Did you join us late? Because I said the objective of this lesson today is how, and even on Friday, will be how to answer questions. So the first thing that we do before even we go to the answer, we first of all understand the diagrams and understand the question. So if there is a diagram, we can draw. If there is something, the facts about something, we say it before we go to the question. So there's somebody who want to talk? Who was he? Sarah Kimanzi, okay. Endelea.
I don't know how to explain.
You don't know, you can explain something. Melissa, I've seen you want to talk. Melissa Wambui, I've seen you want to talk.
Yes.
Yes.
For this question, all that someone needs to understand is that this type of manure usually takes the longest time to release nutrients, and it should be purely leguminous. It should be leafy, quick to grow, and quick to rot. So that's all you need to know about That's all you need to know about this type of manure.
You know, I've not heard anything. I don't know. I'm the only person who did not hear. Am I the only person who did not hear what Melissa was saying? Eh?
I've heard.
Oh, you had?
Yes.
Why was me? I didn't hear anything. Okay, so it's okay. So you have said, what did you say? Eh? Hey, repeat.
I've said. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm saying that you have the thing you need to know about this type of manure is that it takes the longest time to release nutrients. It is purely made from leguminous plants. It should be leafy, quick to grow, and quick to rot. That's all you need to know about that type of manure.
That is the green manure. You have just explained green manure. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so somebody to pick compost manure. I think everybody has written that. The green manure takes the longest time to release nutrients. It is it's made from mostly from green for leguminous plants. The characteristics are it is leafy, easy to rot, easy to grow. Okay, so compost manure, somebody to pick compost manure. Nani ana pick? Olivia, correct?
Cha compost manure. It is made from decayed plants, cha and leftovers. Cha food leftovers.
Teacher, we can't hear you.
Cha unmute.
Thank you. I was changing the internet. You know, this internet is in Azumbua, but I've changed. So Olivia, you have explained. Everybody understood what you explained.
Cha was saying.
Yes.
Cha compost manure. Cha it is made up from cha decayed plants. Cha and cha food leftovers.
So it is made from the we normally call it how do we describe it? From the kitchen refuse. So purely made from the kitchen refuse. So that is the compost manure. And remember, there is a diagram for compost manure. Can somebody tell us how we should label the diagram? Just draw a cuboid. Just draw a cuboid. If you draw a cuboid, are you getting what I'm saying? Drawing of a cuboid. Okay, then the cuboids have layers. So the top layer is what? The top layer is what?
Dry leaves.
Dry leaves. Then first layer.
Topsoil.
Topsoil. Second layer.
Ash.
As third layer.
Farmyard
manure. Then fourth layer.
Kitchen
refuse. And then we have the maize stalk. Is that correct? You have the maize stalk. You have the maize stalk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Thank you. So in science, it's not a song. Science is not a sense where we are singing. You might know them, but you have to know exactly what is the purpose of dry leaves. What is the purpose of topsoil? What is the purpose of the ash? So let's start from the dry leaves. Why do we have dry leaves in the compost heap? Just unmute and say. Just unmute and then you say. Don't just call me. Just unmute and say.
To reduce the rate of evaporation.
Reducing the rate of evaporation. I hope people are writing. People are writing. And that one is, I hope so. Number two, what is the function of the topsoil?
Introduce bacteria.
To introduce
bacteria. That is introducing bacteria. Thank you very much. What is the function of ash?
Add nutrients.
Add nutrients. Sometimes you can be asked, which one of the following layers will add minerals to the compost? Mineral to the compost. Ida, mute. Ida, kindly mute. Correct. Thank you. Which one add minerals to the compost? Who knows the answer? Which one add minerals? William? William?
Josh.
Yes. Ash, because those nutrients you are talking about are phosphorus, nitrogen. Is that correct? Is it true?
Yes.
They are the The ureas, or those kind of nutrients are the ones that are added by ash. Correct. The function of farmyard manure.
To feed the bacteria.
To feed the bacteria. It is, we call it the food to the bacteria. Thank you very much. Functions of the kitchen refuse. Kitchen refuse. Kitchen refuse. Kitchen refuse. Yeah? Kitchen refuse is the main product. Kitchen refuse is the main product. The main product is the saramute. The main product to be decomposed. Then we talk about the maize stalk is acting like a bed. It will prevent leaching of the manure to the soil. It's because we are preparing this manure to take to somewhere else. We don't want them to be used by where we are making them. So the maize stalk act like a bed. Okay. Somebody is asking about. I've seen the acronym, yeah, micro na macro organism. So Olivia, can you give us that very fast? Okay, Tanya's giving us. Who is us? Who? No, Olivia, give it to us. Olivia?
That one for macronutrients.
Macronutrients. So those who don't know the acronym to write.
It was Charles has 9 past papers, so carry more.
Charles has 9 past papers, so carry more. Where C stand for?
Carbon.
Carbon. S stand for?
Hydrogen.
9 stand for?
Nitrogen.
Past stand for?
Phosphorus.
Phosphorus. Paper stand for?
Potassium.
So stand for?
Sulfur.
Carry stand for? Calcium.
Calcium.
Now more? More stand for?
Magnesium.
Magnesium, yes. Okay. So micro. So give us for micro now. Micro. Who is giving us micro? Micro. This is minor nutrients. Somebody to give us the acronym for that?
Ivan can zoom mercilessly, but Moran can.
I have to start. Tanya, you are the person who was writing, please. Ivan can zoom mercilessly, but Moran can't.
Ati can what? Can?
Ivan can zoom mercilessly, but Moran can. Moran can't. Okay. Ivan stand for?
Iron.
Mercilessly stand for?
Skipped can.
Moledium.
Skipped can.
Oh, can stand for?
Copper.
Then but stand for?
Boron.
Moran stand for?
Manganese.
Yes. Can't stand for?
Chromium.
Is it? No, that is chlorine, not chromium. Chlorine.
Where is the then is chromium found?
Chromium is not needed by plants. It's not a mineral that is needed by plants. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Any question? Okay. So that one we have exhausted. That for compost. So farmyard is made from what? Farmyard is made from animal waste. Animal waste. That's where the mostly farmyard is coming from. This is an example of a fertilizer. So urea is an example of fertilizer. So if the question is asking which one of the following types of manure take the longest, we pick green manure when we have all the manures. But the one that take the shortest time possible is always the fertilizers. So fertilizers release the nutrients immediately, and they also release specific nutrients. They release specific nutrients. They release nutrients immediately. Those are advantages of fertilizers. Any question?
No.
Any question? Okay. So if there is no any question, we can move with Ida to pick number 5.
Which one of the following statements is true about gully erosion? First, gully erosion is a type of soil erosion whereby the soil has been eroded and has formed V or U-shaped channels.
So the first
on the
thing that you
soil.
need to know, anytime you get a question on soil erosion, make sure that you know what types of soil erosions do we have. Number 1, gully, deep, U, V channels. That's number 1. Is that correct? Number 2, we have reel. Reel is shallow channels. Number 3 is sheet. We are saying the top soil missing. It's washing away the top soil uniformly. Then that we will find there is exposed of the what? The root of the plants will be exposed. Then the other one of the holes, the hole is the flush, where we are finding the holes under the rooftop. So if the rooftop you find the holes, that is flush. That's the first thing that you need to know. So we are being now asked what is true about gully. So it is. So if we get one, we say which one is it? Read it. Ida.
A removes a thin layer of soil. That cannot be correct because
my friend Ida, listen. There is nothing that is not correct in science. So everything is correct. It's only that it's not correct in this question. So it remove a thin layer of soil. What do you write in front there?
Sheet erosion.
Very good, girl. Then go to choice B.
Forms shallow trenches. That is real erosion.
Very good, girl. Then
it is mainly caused by heavy winds. Also sheet erosion.
Okay, so automatically you see, once you have already given choice A, B, C their names, then even if you don't know D, automatically D is the answer. True or false?
True.
And tell me why D is the answer, because I know some people are going to ask.
Can be controlled by terracing at initial stage. That's their meaning. Before it gets to gullies, it will be fast reels.
Very good, girl. Very good, girl. That is the most important thing there. That's why they test that question, because children already crammed that real erosion, terracing, gabion and trenches, gabion and porous dams. That one is gully. Planting cover crops, that is flash, and what, and sheet. So you see now automatically now this one, before you reach to gully, there is real erosion. So we control real erosion. We will be controlling gully erosion. So that's why we say choice D is correct. Thank you very much. Annabelle, choice number 6. Annabelle.
Number 6. Wait, I can't see what. Oh, now I can. Which one of the following is correct about HIV and AIDS?
So automatically that question is coming from which class of HIV and AIDS?
Class.
Because HIV and AIDS is in all classes.
Yes.
So that one is coming from which class?
I'm not sure about the class. Chapter 4.
Eh?
I'm not sure.
This is class 7. This is class 7. Myths and misconceptions of HIV and AIDS. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one of the following statement? Class 4 is transmission. Class 5 is stages. Class 6 is effects. Class 7 is myths and misconception. Class 8 is where we are taking about we're talking about the methods of controlling the spread. So make sure you know all these things at your fingertip. You know which class is this question is coming from. Science. Tuanze sasa nani? Tuanze, my dear. Choice A.
A. All thin people suffer from AIDS. B. Sex minors can cure HIV and AIDS. HIV and AIDS has no cure. D. HIV and AIDS is a curse. Choice C. Because choice
Choice A?
because not all thin people have HIV and AIDS.
You say choice A is a myth or a misconception.
Yes.
Choice
It's a
B is choice B.
Choice B. Sex can lead to HIV and AIDS, but it does not cure.
So that is a misconception.
Yes.
That's why you see, no, every time I tell you, and when I'm always talking, Kina Melissa always tell me, why girls always? You have to be very, very keen, because outside there, the people are rotten. This mind, there are people who have this mind in this mind. They know very well they are looking for small girls, small girls, so that they do sex with them, so that they cure their HIV and AIDS, which is not true, but they have it in their mind. So that is a misconception. So be very careful when you are walking in the street. See?
Chassis is correct because HIV and AIDS has no cure.
That is a fact. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because
and
next
D
time
is
you
wrong
ask
because
is a fact. Yeah.
Yes.
This one is also this is a misconception.
Misconception. It's wrong because HIV and AIDS is not a curse.
Correct. Very good, girl. Let's pick number. Those people have not talked. We are almost finishing the lesson. There are people here who have not read. Oh, Tanya, yes. I have not seen you.
Question.
Okay, ask a question, then you'll answer question number 7.
Okay, tell the difference between myths and misconceptions. Tell what is it?
You say myth is a belief, false belief. Is that correct? Are you okay? But misconception is misleading idea. So they're more or less the same, but one people believe, one is an information that people are told, like sex with a minor. That is people have been told. That is a misleading idea. But AIDS is a curse. You know, people, that is a belief. There's a tradition. There's a village where people believe that AIDS is a curse. Like in Tanzania right now, people have believed there is no corona. That's a belief, but it is there. You get that? What you are saying?
Yes.
Yeah, the other one is a belief. The other one is an idea, misleading idea.
Okay, thank you.
Pick number 7.
The diagram below represents a setup that was used to investigate a certain process in plants. Okay, as you can see, the process is transpiration.
Reason?
There is a clear polythene bag, water droplets in the main plant.
So if anytime we have clear polythene bag, we are investigating what?
Transpiration.
Transpiration. When we have black polythene bag, we are investigating what? We are investigating what?
I've forgotten.
We are investigating the photosynthesis, making of plant food. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's correct. So that's how we answer the questions like that. So we want to reach number 10. So I will take 2 minutes of your time. We reach number 10. So read number 8. Somebody who has not talked totally. If you know you have not talked totally, read number 8. Akina Jeff. Jeff, read number 8. Jeff.
Which one of the following steps in separating a mixture of salt and sand and iron filing? So first you should, yeah, you're investigating. First you should you should use a magnet first, since there's no solution, so there's no need for filtering. There's no need for filtering, so you'll using a magnet. After that, you'll, that's the answer.
So,
filtering.
Which one of the following is the second step in separating a mixture of salt, sand, and an iron filing? Are you getting me? Well, I'm talking twice. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes. There's an echo.
Oh, there's an echo because my laptop is going off and I've connected. But let me just wait just 1 minute. Okay. Okay. So if you get a question like this one, Jeff. Eh?
Yes.
Jeff, you analyze the question. Look at the characters that you have. We have the salt, we have the sand, we have the iron filing. So the first thing that I will do in this process is to pass a magnet to remove iron filing. True or false? True. Okay, the second step. The second step, because I have salt and sand, all of them are solid, I will dissolve. Adding water. True or false? When I add water, the third step, I will filter, remove sand. Are we moving together?
Yes.
Eh? Then after that, now I evaporate to get what? Salt. So that's the first thing I do. Arrange the steps from the first to the last. Forget about which one they have asked you. Then now, once you have done that, now go to the questions, and they are very, very specific. They are saying the second. Automatically, I've arranged my product, my process. So there's my second is which one? See, adding water. Is that correct?
Yes.
Adding water.
Dissolving.
Yes, it's adding water. So that's what we are going to pick to dissolve the salt. Last question. Pick Melissa Wambui very fast. Melissa Wambui. Melissa Wambui.
Number 9.
Read number 9.
When the position of the Earth and the Sun appear as in the diagram below, the crescent at point P will appear as in figure.
So I know this one you don't know, but you see when you look at the Earth, your answer will be?
I don't know.
Automatically, I knew you don't know this. So you see, this is the Earth, this is the crescent, and then this is the Sun. The Sun is in the east. So in other words, these people are in the west. So these people are asking you, there are two types of crescent that we have. We have the evening crescent and the morning crescent. So when the sun is here in the west, then that means we are talking about the morning crescent. True or false? Is it morning or the evening one? The morning. Is it the morning or the evening? Or you people, you don't even understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Then I will have to draw this diagram for you. But what I'm trying to say that we have two types of crescent. There's a crescent that appear very early in the morning after the new moon. After we always have new moon. Then after new moon we go to crescent. Then crescent we go to the gibbous. Then the gibbous we go to full moon. Then from full moon we start that process. So if the process starts from the full moon, then now the next crescent will be on the east before the sunrise. So that in crescent will look like C. It will be facing upward, C. But the one in the evening, it will be like A. The one in the evening. And please try to observe the sky so that you see what I'm saying. Observe the sky. If the sky is clear in the evening and we are having new moon, immediately the sunset, check which type of crescent do we have. And then early in the morning, again, if the sky is clear, check which type of crescent do we have before the sunrise. But that one I will draw for you later. And the last thing is question number 10. Somebody read number 10, the one that have not read anything since we started the lesson. If there is somebody who has not talked here since we started the lesson, can you read number 10?
Which one of the following is a recreational use of water?
So which one of the following is a recreational use of water? So when you meet a question like that one, William Bosche, we have to know the uses of water in the farm. We have to know the uses of water in the factory. We have to know the uses of water in industrial and also for recreational. So when you read choice A, you tell me which one is which until you end the end. So start A. Bosche? Start A?
Yes.
Start with A. A is what?
Chai making fountain is chai dodo.
Eh? Making fountain is the use of water in industry.
Yeah.
If you don't know, right?
Cha for cha making fountain, cha it is industrial use. Cha swimming is recreational use. Cha bathing is home use. Cha and watering flowers, cha it's farm use.
So automatically the answer become
swimming.
Swimming. That is choice B.
Boy.
Yeah. Thank you very much, you guys, for listening. And I hope you have understood everything that you have said. That is how we answer questions. We don't just go to science questions blank. So meaning, you guys, before you do Kenya National Examination Council, what am I supposed to do first? My brain must have something first. So read the books, do research. Now that you have an opportunity of using even the internet at home, do research a lot. Then when you go to a paper, know where the question has come from, know what the demand of the question, know that choice A is what, choice B is what, choice D is what, choice, and then why. Tuko pamoja hapo kila mtu? Are we together there, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So see you very thank you very much for listening. See you on Friday. See you on Friday when we are continuing from number